All right.
It's like a really bad prank.
Oh, it's gonna be.
Oh, you brought this, and conveniently, you can't have any of it, huh?
Just because
I feel like he did this on purpose.
I really
that's the point. Wait, who did it on purpose? You or me?
No, he did. He's like, I know I'm not going to be able to consume this.
That's the last
in
beer
great
that
volume.
I owe in the viewers that's more than one can.
Right?
So that's kind of awesome. But then I was like, you know what? It's like in fall and...
So the communal fridge is being very diverse.
All I'm saying is you can beer batter fish, you can beer batter chicken, you can beer batter fries.
That's true.
Maybe it's a flavor that'll go good with the guy.
Over a six-pack. Heavy metal over a six-pack.
Give me a beer.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to the podcast. Who's ready to get white girl wasted?
It's time to grab another beer and then talk about it. This is the Heavy Metal Over 6-Pack Beer Review.
Whatever you think you can do with that, buddy.
I got you the glass.
It's nice. I got you the glass. Oh, perfect.
There we go.
I got my Zelda mug, so I'm good.
All right, so this is a, as far as I'm concerned, this is a cider.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
We're like really getting white girl wasted.
All right, I'll bring it home, and I promise I will have to drink it as soon as I'm able. All right?
I hate that.
See,
I hate it.
the reason why I say we're getting white girl wasted is because we're in that glorious time of year where everything fucking pumpkin spice comes out, which pumpkin spice is the stupidest, most retarded. You know, I would actually prefer something like maple flavored.
To be fair,
To be fair,
Oh, God.
I bought this pumpkin spice whatever, like, actually that's probably not a good thing. It was months ago. It's been in the fridge for a hot minute. So it's not even fresh October pumpkin
I would
spice.
say it's probably not filtered either because
it's
all
gonna
kinds
make
of
me throw
all
up.
kinds of stuff came out of the bottom of that
So
can.
I have a really bad relationship with pumpkin beer.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
if I just disappear from the episode, you know why.
We could have.
This episode's over after like 2.5 minutes.
You just hear glug glug, and it does nothing.
Dave's privileges have been revoked. Give me your debit card.
Oh my God! Stop it right now. The can actually says nothing basic here. Our apple blend is fermented with toasted butternut squash and pumpkin, caramelized with brown sugar and conditioned on pumpkin spices. Crafted in Massachusetts. High Lim pumpkin spice.
Yeah, it's unfiltered.
Unfiltered hard cider. 16
It's
fluid
between
ounces.
dry and sweet, which
Oh, good.
would be what?
Treat.
Moist?
Swine.
I'm not,
I'm gonna hate this.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna hate this.
At least you're positive. I'm proud of you guys.
so Dave's a better human than us, so he
No,
doesn't
I'm not.
he doesn't drink alcohol anymore.
I do too. Just can't right now.
So
He's pregnant.
Listen, on the news, on the podcast, you're gonna release
Not in
that
the news.
It is the news.
I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope that it comes out with legs.
Been waiting 9 months to take a shit.
That's not beer related.
Oh, never mind.
all right, so myself and Anthony are gonna get white girl wasted. So cheers, buddy. Oh, what do you got there? A nice,
I
a nice
got a nice-
polar seltzer.
Looks
Diet
like
polar
Tang.
seltzer beer.
It looks like Tang.
Ah.
Nope. All set. No, thank you.
You know, and I wonder if all my pumpkin flavor is actually still at the bottom of my can because there's a lot of stuff going on down there, and I don't want to pour it out. Oh my! Yeah, you know what? It's not as bad pumpkin as I was expecting. I was expecting it to. It's like one of I don't know. It's like one of those things. Like you have to actually like pumpkin.
As soon as
I don't mind pumpkin, but like not in my beverage. I don't want it in my coffee. I don't want it in my fucking beer.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a makeup episode where Dave tries all the beers he wasn't able to try in this time period,
We'll do this one.
and I'll rate them. So we can get an accurate rating on them.
Nope. It's not super pumpkin-y, but just that little bit's enough to put me over the edge.
I tell you what, it's actually kind of refreshing about it. It's like that little fizziness, with that slight like little fizzy.
He's
I
like,
mean-
pumpkin. Nope.
If there wasn't...
See, you
know,
you were
could've-
convinced you hated it before you even started.
You could have given me a squash beer and I would have been fine.
Well, there's butter. It says right here.
I
there's
know,
butternut.
but there's also pumpkin in it, which is like...
Butternut squash and pumpkin.
Pumpkin is squash.
But that's the thing about like pumpkin flavoring. Like if you actually like cut out,
Thank you.
if you actually
Thank
got
you,
like
Gordon Ramsay.
legit pumpkin, it doesn't taste like what pumpkin flavoring tastes like.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm just.
He's just giggling.
Michael Jackson in
I'm
here?
going to go with a 1 because it's refreshing, but also gross.
Anthony said. I feel refreshed.
If your mouth was on
But
fire with literal flames, would you drink it?
I would break the pieces of glass and rub them against the inside of my mouth.
Rough. You sure this Bill Spit doesn't make this?
Hey, we did a rebuttal. You weren't there for that.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not sure if I published that yet. I think I completely forgot about it.
They're moving breweries, too. They're moving to Winchendon.
Yes, they are. They're 5 minutes down the street from where I am,
Yeah, right across from the harbor there.
and they are
Sort of.
they are moving into a building that I cannot believe you can have a sanitary facility in.
Yeah, they're like condemned one.
But hey, they probably got it for pennies on the dollar, which they're
I
going to
would
need
imagine.
all of those pennies to clean
Well,
that.
they're getting harassed in Bolton because of like they don't do like the in-house brewery. Like they can make beer, but they can't do like the Wachusett thing where they go and people hang out there. They can't do that because Bolton's like up their ass about it.
Yeah, because Bolton.
Yeah, isn't it like a thing like there had to be like an event or something going
Something like
on?
that.
or-
Yeah, it's Bolton's is like very very strict with what they do. It's weird.
Yeah, they're stupid. Like whatever. I would never probably buy this again, but you know what? I can see that I can probably see where like hard cider people would actually enjoy it. So I'm gonna be nice and give it a 3.
They're very protective of their colon meat in Bolton.
It's true. So he's right.
You don't want to get the cows angry, man.
We had a disease based off that, so no.
It's the most It's like irrational fear for mad cow disease. I can't like wrap my mind around it. It's the scariest thing ever.
I would never put my hoof in my mouth.
Everyone just turns into Harry Carey or what?
Mad cow disease?
Yeah.
It's just mad cows, man. It's freaky.
Zombie cows.
There used to be this old downloadable video game. It was like a McDonald's like knockoff thing.
Of course it is.
And then like cuz like you did like the whole process, like you had like your little restaurant and you had like your little farm. And you had like you were pumping like the drugs and shit into like the animals and like whatnot, but if you did too many, like they would get, or not enough, they would get like sick and they would get the mad cow disease, and your cow would get like a little pissed off face on it and start rampaging the farm. And I was like, oh my god, it's terrifying.
Well, at least it's true to nature.
And it was like COVID-19. If you were like within 6 feet of another cow, that cow would get mad cow disease, and all of a sudden your whole fucking farm's got mad cow.
Just fucking mad cows everywhere.
And then you had to slaughter them all. It was a funny video game, but it was honestly terrible at the same time.
Like the Oregon Trail.
Like
Oh yeah, you have syphilis.
like ruined my childhood. And I was 17 at the time.
I don't understand. It's educational, but none of that's happened to me yet. I
So
haven't had in the plague yet. So.
currently, as it sits, it's ranked at a 2.
What?
No, between you guys' ratings.
Oh yeah.
A
in theory.
1 and a 3.
It's better. Okay, it's better than what I thought because I went in like with horrible thoughts in my head. Well, don't force it, man. You don't have
I'm
to.
not forcing. Nope. Nope.
Nope. As soon as it touches his lips, nope.
Anthony's opinion has remained unscathed.
I have a makeup date a month from now to try this and rate it.
Better than make out date.
Oh.
Dave's gonna have 30 beers. He's gonna have to sample
Hey, I'll do
on
them
the
all
same
in the
episode.
same episode.
Oh, we should do like a drunken Shakespeare thing, but we'll
Oh,
we'll
no.
do like a
No.
drunken Dave. It's like we'll just keep making them do shots
Now,
of beer.
Dave doesn't do that. Shots of beer. I would do shots of beer.
It's like a flight. Just call it an airport because it's like all of them. A little bigger than a
Okay,
flight.
that show that we reference ever so often.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the Century Challenge.
Yes.
I've always wanted to try that for an episode.
Right?
Just get the volunteers. It's 100 shots of beer in 100 minutes. Can't go to the bathroom. Can't spit.
Can you eat something?
Nope.
You can't eat anything? Like, I can't have a snack?
But every minute,
I feel I'd
every
be
minute,
hungry.
every
Halfway
minute, it's
through.
another shot of beer, and you have to do that for 100 minutes straight.
Yeah, but for 2 hours, almost 2 hours,
I don't believe you
guarantee
can.
I'd want a snack.
I don't believe you can eat.
Give me like a handful of Cheez-Its or something to...
It's an hour and 40 minutes. It's just like when you're 20 minutes in, like you really want to break the seal like so bad, but it's like, but then you lose.
I'd pee everywhere.
We'd have to have something worth winning.
I just thought it'd be a fun episode.
Yeah, mister, I think I win.
I think I win stuff.
Why do you keep trying to give stuff away? Do you know what our budget looks like?
Can't be any worse than mine.
We don't even have one.
Yeah, can't be any worse than mine.
All right, well, good try.
Oh, that's
Whoever
a review.
brought this hard cider, you're
An asshole.
kicked out of Mantown or something. All right, next.
Heavy metal headlines.
You know, you're an asshole.
Heavy metal over a six-pack. Feuding metal bands.
Stupid son of a bitch.
Haven't done a feud in a while. Let's talk a feud. In fact, I actually think we should do this feud because the rest of the metal and music community is actually like jumping on this feud. So it would only be right if we jump on said feud.
Feud wagon.
Nothing else better to do. Beef tweets.
The
Beef tweets.
EOM feud wagon. Wait, something different. Beef deets.
So there's something out there called a Machine Gun Kelly.
The internet's changed his name.
Oh, Matt Heafy changed his name.
Oh,
We'll get into
okay.
Don't.
I didn't know what he said. All right.
So Machine Gun Kelly decided to pick a feud against the probably the most stupidest target you could possibly take a feud on, because like the
It's
Corey
a 9-to-1 ratio. First of all,
the Corey Taylor syndrome. It's like, what would Corey do? Like, kind of a thing. Like, if anything's happening in the world, like, we go ask Corey Taylor what we would do. So I'll just read the Loudwire like real quick. If you're a rock or metal fan, chances are you heard at least something about the feud that's been going on between Slipknot's Corey Taylor, Machine Gun Kelly recently, in case you need a concise explanation. And what we're going to do today is we have the timeline of how this all started
Start
and
to
continued,
finish.
and has become somewhat hilarious and somewhat weird at the same time. Because you know what? I can honestly say before this, I've heard the name Machine Gun Kelly, but I've never paid attention to him.
You're so smart.
Like, not even a little.
So smart.
Like, I think he's even been referenced on this show. Like, when we had the Machine Gun Mayhem guys, like, I know Jay called him, like, Machine, and, like, but that was the most I had ever talked about him, like, prior to, like, this actually happening. So it's one of those bad things where, like, now that something's happened, now I look into him, so now I'm, like, feeding the monster. But that's okay.
But to be fair,
To be fair.
this particular person has jumped a handful of genres in a handful of years.
and
so.
has not really landed that
See-
jump.
Is it?
No,
Is it
just
fair?
keep throwing it against the wall, man, until something sticks.
Fair to call him a floater?
Might be by definition. This might be it.
I'm just curious.
All right, so first headline: Corey Taylor indirectly insults Machine Gun. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the timeline. Corey Taylor indirectly insults Machine Gun Kelly during an interview. Back in February, Taylor did an interview with Cutter's Rockcast, where he indirectly referenced Kelly's change in musical direction. They were discussing genres and trends, and Taylor said, "I am the worst old fogey dude shaking his cane ever, and I hate everything. I hate all new rock for most part. Well, the artist who failed in one genre decided to go rock. And I think he knows who he is, but that's another story." That was Corey Taylor's quote. So, second timeline. Machine Gun Kelly throws shade at Slipknot at Riot Fest. Both Kelly and Slipknot performed at this year's Riot Fest. Machine Gun Kelly threw shade at the Knot during his set. Hey, you want to know what I'm really happy that I'm not doing? Being 50 years old, wearing a fucking weird mask on a fucking stage, talking shit.
Sip seltzer.
Interesting medium to decide to go ahead and throw that out there. Considering they're both there, you don't think there's like a few Slipknot fans there? I'm just saying. Not the smartest.
Well, he's We'll cover that track record here in a minute.
This is also, and these are all summaries, guys. We're not going to go, obviously, through every one of these, but this is also around the time Machine Gun Kelly had tweeted, Corey did a verse for a song on Tickets to My Downfall album, and it was fucking terrible, so I didn't use it. He got mad about it, talked shit to a magazine about the same album he was almost on. Y'all's stories are off. Just admit he's bitter. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the next timeline. Machine Gun Kelly calls Corey Taylor bitter on Twitter. Yeah. So sorry, I jumped the gun there.
It's all good.
I'm getting there's too many ads on this webpage. That's why it's like. All right. So next, Corey Taylor fires back at Machine Gun Kelly. Says he's like a child. After Kelly called Taylor bitter, the Slipknot vocalist fired back in a tweet of his own. I don't like people airing private shit like a child, so this is all I'll say. I didn't do the track because I don't like when people try to write for me. I said no to them, so without further ado, #receipts, this is all I'm going to say. The receipts in question were the 2 screenshots from an email essentially saying, and the screenshots from the email was just to not read the email and to say verbatim, Corey Taylor pretty much saying, I don't really feel like I'm right for this direction. I'm sure whoever you find will do great in the part, and like everybody will be very successful. I wish you luck. That's essentially what Corey Taylor said. Sure. But he's like, I don't feel like I'm the right person for the job. I keep jumping ahead on my own. It's great because that's the next one. So his screenshots. Machine Gun Kelly then slams Corey Taylor again. In response to Taylor's tweet and screenshots, Kelly said, basically, your verse was really bad. Respectfully, I was just telling you to rewrite it because it was really bad. Respectfully. But let's do a Britney Spears cover song together. Fucking stupid.
What?
I don't think Corey Taylor's ever done a Britney Spears cover song that I'm aware of.
No, that's Children of Bodom.
Yes? Good. We got nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Next event, Machine Gun Kelly gets booed at Louder Than Life.
How? How did this happen?
During his performance at Louder Than Life Festival, Louisville, Kentucky, on September 25th, Machine Gun Kelly was met with a mix of reactions from members of the crowd, while many expressed support for him. Fan film footage shows that there were a lot of people that weren't happy with the recent Slipknot slander. Some were booing him, others raised the middle fingers in the air. And all the weird angry guys, the song's for you, Kelly said before breaking into his song, All I Know. At some point during a set, Kelly was singing on the ground between the stage and the barricade, and festival attendees seemingly shoved him once he made it over the fence. The rocker in turn went after the guy and punched him before security intervened.
They better edit that.
Yep.
Rocker.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Get rid of that.
Sorry.
The next timeline is Machine Gun Kelly now reacts to news regarding his Louder Than Life set. Before we even covered Machine Gun Kelly's Louder Than Life performance on Loudwire, a user on Twitter tagged us in a tweet with a video of the crowd singing along during the set. But come on, with the relentless booed headline they wrote. Kelly retweeted the statement himself and added, I don't know why the media lies in the narrative against me all the time, but all I saw was 20,000 amazing fans at the festival singing every word and 20 angry ones. This actually reminds me of that the thing with Trapped, where it's like 500 people showed up for your show, and like they had like there's like a screenshot of them playing to like a small
12 guys in front.
And
Yeah.
So what's fun about this feud is like the whole rock community now, and this has become very meme-tastic.
Very meme-tastic. I'm gonna.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Sorry. And the rest of the rock community, which I think Anthony has details on, but I'll let him chime in with his...
One in particular.
The best of them all.
Mr. Matthew Heafy of Trivium. Because he was at Knobfest, I believe. And he tweeted, to start, I'd like to formally diss Machine Gun Kelly for, quote, being 31 years old wearing a fucking 16-year-old pop punk cosplay identity on a fucking stage. And then tweeted, squirt gun smelly. Because that's exactly what Matt Heafy would do.
Squirt gun smelly.
That's just exactly what he would say. That's pretty much it. That was 2 days ago. So I think that's the. That's fun. He also tried to fight Conor McGregor too.
Yeah.
At one point.
There was a whole beef in there in between all
Yeah,
this.
he
too.
got into like a scrap with him at the VMAs.
I wonder who wins that fight.
Oh, MGK all the way. I mean, he's jumped genres, which says he can't jump careers. You know, go from rapper to
Like
MMA champion.
His only chance I would give him if McGregor was actually sober.
Well, that's like what's his name? Paul. The two YouTuber guys that jumped over.
Oh yeah, Paul and the Paul brothers.
Jake
Logan
Paul
and Jake Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what though? That's all money, man.
Oh yeah,
That's all it is.
They're just they're promoters.
All
That's
money.
all they are. And I think, well, along that same line though, I think that MGK is essentially trying to do that too. Like, I feel like, okay, so you had this big beef with Eminem, which kind of elevated him into relevance.
Well, that's the thing. So Eminem did it because he fucking can. Machine Gun Kelly did it to follow in the coattails, to get him the money to follow up, and that's kind of like.
Yeah.
And then I guess once you date, what's her name?
Megan Fox.
Yeah, you can just do whatever the hell you want.
Apparently. I don't understand that either. But it seems like between Eminem, now Corey, and Connor, MGK is trying to like. I just picture him as that kid. You know, like that kid in class when you're in like elementary school that's like smaller than everybody, but is angrier than everyone, and like you know full well I could pick you up and drop you on your head, but I'm just not gonna because you're so little. Like I just won't do it. And then they keep yapping. You know, I feel like the yapping's gonna come to a close sometime soon.
I'm sure.
Because
Yeah, but how? There's no way of actually being able to do it now because like you can't like just physically abuse the guy. That's hazing, and like it'll be freaking lawsuits, and there'll be like a big traumatic thing like with that, and like this is what happens. This is what the internet has created because you can get away with doing whatever you want and copying everybody else's actions and not having any repercussions for it. So dipshits like this exist.
I feel like there's still a handful of people though where like he's gonna mouth off to the wrong person who's just not gonna
Care.
I mean, Conor McGregor is probably the closest he ever got to actually getting hit in the face since he started all this. But
Conor McGregor doesn't give a fuck.
there's got to be a handful of people we can think of that probably think off the top of their head like, hey, like there's metal people that get arrested all the time for assault. There's professional football players that get arrested all the time for assault, and they stay in their careers. And yeah, there's a lawsuit, but hey, you're probably not going to do. I feel like there's going to be that one person that has just had enough. And I'm not saying that, Corey hasn't done anything, because obviously Corey's doing whatever he needs to do. I think Machine Gun Kelly's this guy that tries to make like a positive spin out of all this negativity that he perpetuates. And then tries to like play victim to all this stuff. And like, well, I'm just not going to not say something. It's
I
like,
put this
well,
guy on par with that Cash Me Outside girl.
Yeah.
Like they're useless. They're useless human beings.
made a lot of money
But you
in
know what?
OnlyFans,
That's
though.
that's what the problem is, though. Like, this chucklehead probably has millions and millions and millions of dollars because people keep giving him money, so it encourages him to be more of a chucklehead.
I just, like, I never really had a problem with MGK until recently. Like, I never, like, he was like, yeah, whatever, like, not my
When
style,
he was
whatever.
in the Motley Crue, the Dirt,
Right,
which I think he did fine. Like I was like, okay,
Right.
Like, yeah, I had no issues with him.
right. But
Started with that Paramount cover, man.
yes,
That's all it took.
that's what I was gonna say,
That's
man.
all
That is
it took.
that is the most unenthusiastic
Wow.
I've ever heard in my life. And I just,
Oh, good.
I don't have any respect for him. Like, hey, you can talk shit about Slipknot all day if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it. And like, yeah, they wear masks and whatever. Dude, you wear pink pants and all kinds of crazy checkered outfits.
And his tongue's tattooed. Don't ever forget that.
Yeah. So I just,
I actually know somebody who had that done. They actually had Slayer tattooed underneath
Can't
their
imagine
tongue.
that's anywhere enjoyable. That would freak me out.
That's gonna be horrible. I mean,
I'll
it wasn't
tattoo any
like
part of my body for the most part, but the tongue would be like, no.
it wasn't like a detailed tattoo. Like it was literally like a stick figure of this like Slayer. But like she had to like pick up her tongue. And it was like underneath. I'm like, holy fuck! How the fuck did you stay still long enough for that?
God, throw up.
Like they must have had to like.
yeah, you already gave him pumpkin spice I mean,
knock you out, like kind of a
Dude,
thing.
I bite my tongue and I'm down for like a week.
Like,
It's like it said game over, man.
I don't know, I'd be here. You
I'm
want?
not no good.
So you don't like lengua then?
No.
I need to go to bed for 3 days.
Well,
Yeah.
we can segue into our next, unless you have other stuff
No, I'm ready.
about
I'm ready for you
people
already.
who were done and did something about their situation. Now, I'll read the headline here to really just clear this all up. An angry POD fan crashes their car into a venue after being kicked out of a show. 5 days ago.
Fun.
2 people were arrested after seemingly, quote-unquote, deliberately crashing a car into Birmingham, Alabama venue during a POD show.
Think we found the problem?
Yeah. Is it the Birmingham or the Alabama?
I'm not gonna say.
So, to attendees
Both are
of the
racist.
show,
It's all good.
POD. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. They had allegedly been kicked out of the Zydeco bar earlier in the evening before returning in their vehicle and attempting to ram the building shortly after 10:30 p.m. They tried to escape on foot, but were arrested
What?
pretty quickly.
You can't run as fast with beer in your stomach, bud.
So,
It was their car.
yeah.
Their car.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Birmingham, Alabama.
That's the ultimate sacrifice.
I
I hate you.
sacrifice.
I hate you so bad. I will destroy my insurance credit. I mean, I know not all states have like insurance.
Well, here's the thing. So, Ashes to New was one of the bands on the bill. And he quoted, this dude got kicked out of our show tonight. And then I guess he got mad at the security guard for doing that. I guess they got into a fight. And from what I'm hearing, somebody pulled a gun. Security pulled a gun or something like that. And then they got into a fight. And the dude left. I guess what ended up happening after that is he came back with his car and tried to run the security guard over. And then this dude ran his fucking car into the bar. But I guess he did hit the security guard in theory. I guess the security guard was fine. He was bleeding, but he was fine. It was a lot of things. But I guess the guy who was driving the car got all mangled. And
Good for him.
wasn't
I was gonna say he's either gonna wake up cuffed in a hospital bed or he's gonna wake up cuffed to a hospital bed in prison.
picture. That's
That's
in
a
there.
That's a very reliable car, and that front end is
that is a Nissan Maxima.
That's when you have to have like a friend with you. It's like, dude, what consequences?
There's two
What
of me.
consequences am I going to experience
He had
by
a
driving
friend.
my car really
He had a
fast
friend.
into this object that's going to stop me very hard?
Yeah, bro, like the friend, I feel bad. Like, dude, you got out of the passenger seat and ran. I would have been like, dude, this guy's an idiot. I was trying to convince him to leave. And he threw me into a wall, so I'm suing him too.
Bro, I've seen this in a video game once. You just like reappear with a new car and you'll be fine.
So that's fun.
I just don't get people, man.
Last one I have is actually stuff not related.
Ooh.
It's more or less these are from their live show because they played at Knotfest. So the kids of Corey Taylor and Clown have a band. It's called Vended, Vended, and they show some of their songs. They only have YouTube releases. That doesn't have any like actual like spot of it that I've seen.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, and you heard a little here, if you looked it up, he has the Corey Taylor vibe. Like he sounds like his dad. Like it's on point. Even the music has like the like heavy drums and that kind of Slipknot-y feel. That's interesting. How close.
The vocal range, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Griffin, I believe, is his name.
Peter Griffin?
Peter Griffin. Yes.
It's like Jonathan Davis and his brother. When his brother like started Edema. Like has like very, very similar.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Like
weird how
the
somehow
band
the
itself
family
is like completely different, but like the voice is like very.
I think we've been before the band Lilac, the one that we tried to reach out to. It's a family band, so the whole band, like one of the daughters is the drummer, the other daughter named Melody, oddly enough, is the vocalist. The brothers do guitar and bass and keyboard. Like for some reason they've managed to make every one of the children play the instruments and make it. It's very weird. But they are Swedish, sort of, so
And
I
they
mean,
sound
it kind of
similar.
makes sense.
all sound similar.
It's weird. Families are weird. They say if you can't keep it in your pants, keep
Keep
it
in Alabama.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's it for satellite news.
Woo!
No pun intended.
I have quick beer news. I'll make it very short.
Okay.
So the 2021 Great American Beer Fest. Wait, hold on a second. Why is this in front of me? Yeah, winners of the 2021 Great American Beer Festival. There are 97 categories for beer in this
97.
festival. Which, if you want to see all 97
Like,
categories,
you couldn't
in
go
the
the extra 3. You had to stop right
I'm
at
curious
97?
what's after the first 12. To be
Right.
honest with you.
This one's a beer. This one's a cider.
So
the-
the cider beer.
the reason why I
Beer
bring this
cider.
up is I figured I would give a couple of shout outs to a few of the now there's not we're Massachusetts guys. There wasn't very many, but there were 2 locals that placed in a couple of categories. I'm gonna try to talk my way into actually finding them really quickly because I did a horrible job bookmarking them. If I find them while I'm talking, the first one was actually a Greater Good out of Worcester, Massachusetts.
Ew.
We had them not too long ago.
They won, and the second Massachusetts brewery was one that I've actually been to like recently. They actually won category 40. The American Cream Ale had 147 entries. They took the gold. They go bronze, silver, gold, like medals. With their cerveza, their True North Ale Company out of Ipswich, Massachusetts.
Huh.
Which I can actually I can vouch for that one because it's phenomenal.
Let's check them out.
We have some of them.
I bought a whole bunch of their beer, but then I drank it all. And oh, here we go. Category 24, American Sour Ale. There were 36 entries. Greater Good Imperial Brewing of Worcester, Massachusetts won silver with their Funk Daddy. So American Sour Ale.
Okay.
Those are the only 2 Massachusetts winners. Just wanted to give them some shout out, some love. If you want to see all 97 categories, I have linked this into the show links. Enjoy.
Greater Good is awesome.
But we're not going to read these.
I love their GG vibes.
Yep.
That's the best one. It's like
That's what we
12%.
Isn't that the one you like ripped apart in like a beer review?
No,
We had one of them.
it wasn't vibes.
All right, that's fine. I believe you. Not even mad, bro.
Because I like vibes. I enjoy it.
Okay, glad that's over.
Oh, you're a better man than, well, me.
Well,
Funnily enough, I get both those things a lot.
alrighty,
Than me.
off we go. Just kidding. Me. So to round off this super negative episode that we have going on here, we decided today that we're going to talk about some band breakups. So we go from feuds to news about fans crashing venues. I did talk about some beer winners.
We did.
That's
That
positive.
was-
That's positive.
Uh-huh.
Gotta always bring up a positive before you bring up a negative.
That's true.
Hey, well, we'll check this out. You got to break up a 6-pack to enjoy it, right?
Wow.
Maybe
That's
maybe
deep.
some bands.
Nah, I just tape my own mind together and take
I just tape mine together and shake them.
So what we present to you today is a conversation and discussion based around a few recent mishaps or breakups or setbacks or whatever you'd like to call them. And yeah, off we go. So I brought 2, the first of which a band that we featured a few times. Relatively new story. This actually came out in June of this past year. June 2021. Moore's Principium Est guitarist fired without his knowledge. Claims he was lied to by
Perfect.
vocalists. So the reason why I picked this one was this one's kind of interesting. It's not like, oh, I'm just leaving for personal reasons and like whatnot. We're going separate ways. What's interesting is they had just released their new album 7.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry. All right, Moore's Principium released a new album 7 as a lineup of only multi-instrumentalists, Andy Gillian, and vocalist I'm going to butcher that name, Viljanin.
Oh, Vagine.
Thanks. Despite his work on the album, Gillian was fired prior to the album's release. In a pretty lengthy statement posted by Gillian on his Facebook, he details how he was systematically removed from the band without his knowledge while still working his ass off to make Seven happen. So, still used for his talents, but then fired after said product was released. His full statement, I'll read, and if it gets too dry, I'll just start skipping things. Jillian's statement: "It is with deep regret that I find myself writing this, but I will no longer be playing or writing music in Mors Principium Est. Firstly, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every person who supported us and listened to the music during my time in the band, those who came to a show, bought an album, picked up some merch, or just showed their support or appreciation in whatever way they felt they could. You were the reason I kept going through all the difficult times, and it was a pleasure to serve you with music for almost 10 years. I'd never put as much effort, blah, 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 blah." On August the 3rd, 2020, 3 months before the new album 7 was to be released, I received a message from Vile saying, "You are not in Mors Principium Est anymore."
Nice.
I discovered that the record label had already been notified that I would be departing the band without my knowledge or consent. This was not a decision I was part of, and I certainly did not expect such an attempt to remove me from the band just 2 weeks before the first single had even been released. After 3 years of hard work putting this album together, to have the joy of celebrating its release taken away from me as soon as I'd handed over my work is a feeling I can't begin to describe. After a difficult number of years writing the music, recording guitars, programming synths, bass, and orchestration for the new album, I was alarmed to discover that only a small percentage of lyrics had been written just 1 month before the album was to be sent off for mixing. Under the pressure of the looming album deadline, I felt I had no choice but to begin writing lyrics myself. Days into the rush of writing lyrics, I was admitted to the hospital, later diagnosed with a stress-related onset of hives. During my recovery, I was asked to write more lyrics. In order to salvage this project, the majority of the lyrics on this album, approximately 70%, were put together by myself in just a few weeks.
Wow.
Sometimes submitted the same day the vocals were to be recorded. Shortly after completing the new album, I began to notice signs of what I believed was a plot to remove me from the band. I was informed by one of my endorsement companies that they had been told to separate Mors Principium Est products from my own and keep them on as separate web pages. When the endorser asked why, slanderous comments were made claiming that I don't care about the band, only about myself. Due to the nature of these accusations, the band was consequently dropped by the endorser. My personal endorsement, which I had been excited to share with the band, thankfully remained intact. We continue. I soon noticed that I had lost access to the band's Spotify account. This was particularly concerning, given that I had written the music for the band for many years, and I was now being stripped of the right to view significant streaming data just months before the new album launch. Vile admitted to removing my access, and after asking why, I received messages stating that Mors Principium Est was his band and that I had merely joined his band. Fucking dick.
Interesting.
Decisions for the new album, such as choosing which songs were to be released as singles, were made without my knowledge. I was even asked to contribute to the thank you notes of the album I had worked so hard to put together. After being told I was no longer part of the band, I discovered that my name had never been included in the record deal.
Oh.
Therefore, any money made from the album sales was not legally owed to me. I felt unable to speak out the truth of what had happened until I could ensure a deed had been signed to secure the royalties I am rightfully owed. Sadly, I believe that any profits I could have hoped to make from this album have now been lost to 9 months of legal fees. I guess lastly, I felt that there had been some growing tension following the release of my solo record, Never After, a personal project with no negative impact on the band. After devoting almost 10 years of my life to the band, I didn't think that releasing a personal project would be an issue. Vile stated that the release of my solo album just proved to him that I don't care about the band that much anymore. It goes without saying that nothing could be further from the truth.
Interesting.
You know?
So, man in band. Man works hard in band. Man has ideas for solo project. Does said solo project.
Man carries band to the finish line.
Original band gets upset
Yep.
and says, I don't like you anymore. Which is really a bummer because they're really good.
They are really good.
So good.
That's what always happens when pride and ego get involved.
Sorry, it's fine.
He sounds like one of those people that get like really upset like when somebody starts like a second project. Why can't like somebody just have like more ideas? They just want to fly like butterfly.
No.
Spread your wings and
Can't
fly,
have that.
Dave. Spread your wings and fly, man.
Not allowed. No flying allowed.
No flying. It's a ground only.
Look, man, control freaks want to control people. That's all it is. And I'm not saying that this specific situation, but in the past, in my own personal experience, ego is the number one killer for any band. Because as soon as it makes its face known, it's a rocky road after that.
Yep.
Shall I?
No. Get out of here.
Okay.
So as we know, we've brought it up before. As I lay dying. Is that yours? Did I take yours?
No. This is fine. This is perfect.
No, this is...
This works out great because I don't have to talk anymore after this.
Unless you'd rather do it.
No. Please. Absolutely not. No.
So, we know As I Lay Dying is at a rough middle patch, I guess would be a good way to put that. Because obviously, for people who don't know, Tim Lemesis, how do you say that? Labasis? He was released from prison in 2016, sentenced to 6 years because of the hire the hitman thing, blah, blah, blah. So, when they kind of came back, like he wanted to start the band up. Obviously, most of them didn't follow, but he wanted to reform himself. And the man by Nick Hippa, who was actually an original member, if I'm correct, or not original, but he was with him in prior albums before the situation. This is from August 31st of this year, and he said, the story and meaning we built our reunion upon decayed considerably over time. Now I'm going to read this for the most part. This is when he wrote, depending on everything. Let me skip the top part because it's more on a personal thing. But he said, at this point, it's been well over a year since I've distanced myself from them on a personal and professional level. In that time, they have only given fans merchandising posts and show announcements. This sort of activity highlights and reinforces our differences. Respectfully, I left because of the story and meaning we built on our reunion has decayed considerably over time. What primarily endures is a superficial pursuit I cannot justify supporting or being part of. This is not an indictment on any who choose to remain or be involved. There is tremendous good that can be accomplished through singular focus on the power of music. However, to my memory and recent experience, it comes at the cost of tolerating behavior which at times mistreats, disrespects, and hurts other people. I do not have it in me to walk that road again. The talent and unshakable ambition of the band is undeniable. They will continue to release successful music and do great business. On a human level, I hope everything else fares well for them. And then he finishes with...
That's an interesting line, by the way. Like, when I read that, I was like, on a human
yeah,
level.
weird.
It's like, bro, you trying to kill people again?
Said, he finished with, I am grateful for the lessons I've learned and the incredible people I've been able to meet and connect with the past 17 years. So, not a lot of detail. It's a lot of, like, beating around the bush.
I'm telling you, though, like, if I was going to start a rumor, like, that line right there, on a human level, I hope everything else fares well for them. Like, somebody's fucking up again.
I don't know.
It's like, bro,
we haven't heard much by them.
Well, to his point, it's like they're like, just here's some new merch and here's a show announcement. Because, like, wasn't there, like, a time, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, a couple of years, like, after he got, like, released and, like, the whole reunion thing kind of started happening, there was, like, a lot of, like, equal rights movements, like, like all this stuff, like, you know, support this cause, donate to this. I mean, that all kind of went away.
Yeah.
Of course, they also went on a few pretty major tours, like, after that. So it's like, we don't have to be a part of these anymore. We're back.
Should we have our As I Lay Dying expert back on?
Your buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Jake?
Jake.
Jake.
Listen, I was rifling through like 100 different names, like right there. I was like, wait a minute, yeah, it was not this guy. It was Jake.
Not nice to put people on the spot while recording. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, especially me because I'm just mentally
And it's his friend too.
mentally ill.
That sucks.
But yeah, I mean, so that's So that was a year ago, in theory, that he resigned, but he didn't bring anything up prior to or any of the sorts, because I haven't done anything.
So then speculating something else happened.
Maybe.
This is like that thing where like like how like the hitman was like contacted. So like there's like a couple of people that was
Maybe
like kind of
he was
hanging
the
around like
hitman.
shitty. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
This is like having dirty photos of somebody. It's like I know your
It's
secret.
like to catch
Give
a
me those
predator.
back.
You sent them to him.
I did.
Well, that's
Well, you got to pay me for me to stop sending you. That's how it works.
My last one, unless you have any more.
No.
As so again, Iced Earth has lost a vocalist, along with their guitarist from the whole White House scandal. When everyone attacked, he was one of the people, and their bassist also quit as well.
Time to hang it up, boys.
Iced Earth vocalist Stu Block and bassist Luke Appleton have both resigned from the band following guitarist John Schaffer's involvement in the, insurrection. Both Block and Appleton have released short statements regarding their departure, though I'm not really sure the decisions need much explanation. So, Block said, "Hey all, well, there are times and events when you have to take stock and reevaluate life, work, and trajectory for the future. That being said, I have informed John and his current management that I must announce my resignation from Iced Earth with immediate effect. Before I made any personal decision, I needed the last few weeks to process the situation, as well as respect others in our camp processing the situation. I thank you all very much for respecting this. It's the best decision in many ways for my personal/professional growth going forward. Time to move on, heal, and prosper." Pretty much, much love, blah, blah, blah. And then Appleton actually followed on his statement as, "In response to recent events and circumstances, I have notified Iced Earth's management and John that I will be resigning as the bassist immediately. I would like to thank everyone who has sent me their support and love during this difficult time. Thank you." He's also in Demon and Wizards, which is Blind Guardian kind of mixed in there. But he's also departing from them as well. No, this just follows Hansi Kirsch's departure. So both drummer Brent Smedley and guitarist Jake Dreyer are all that's left. Yep.
This is the Capitol raid thing.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, sorry.
that was with John Schaffer. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm sorry if you said that. Like when hosts aren't listening, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. How was the? Well, he was pretty vocal in that. Also, so it didn't. Politics and bands never go well, man.
No.
Just gotta stay off that path altogether.
Doesn't need to be bands. Politics don't go with anything. My God, it's like.
Right? Remember when we wouldn't talk about them? Me neither.
Nope. We don't delve in it.
Yeah, it's like something happened. This happened. He raided the Capitol. Now his band hates him.
No, I just mean in general. Like in general, people would not talk politics. I didn't mean us. I meant the collective we.
Well, why? Like, because again, the internet was not a thing.
Right. Well, and I also think like we had some bias also because like we were kids when the internet was kind of becoming a so it was like growing up like politics weren't a part of my life as a kid, but that's because I was also a kid. Like,
yeah, right. When I got the internet, I looked up porn. I didn't worry about the politics.
I had LimeWire, so
Yeah, porn and music. Make like your own like porn music mixes.
You get some antibiotics for that or something?
No. Not for that computer.
I got the LimeWire.
It's better than the FrostWire.
Oh.
Yeah,
Good
man.
grief.
So.
Right,
I
David.
mean, how many vocalists has Iced Earth gone through?
Oh gosh,
There's got to be a few, right?
at least 4.
I have to look this up because I'm curious. And not the website. 1984, they.
Oh yeah, they're
Been around for quite a bit. Let's see.
How come it's not? Why is there only like 2 members listed?
Oh,
Oh, here we go. Former band members. There we go. Let's see. Lead vocals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5.
Stu Block was the
So
last one.
So you're definitely playing with fire then. If you join a band that you know has like no problem moving on from
Hang
you.
on. Let's see. Lead guitarist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They change drummers like every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
At what point does it not become like the same band? Like this is my thing. Like
Dude,
with
every
these-
album is totally different because it's just new people. It's very weird. I like Iced Earth, but like it's always just different.
like
people.
who's the original member? Like the bassist? Like
I prefer Mind Thawed.
Well, yeah, John Schaffer technically is 1985. The drummer's
what's he like? The freaking rhythm guitarist? He probably plays fucking triangle for Christ's sakes.
rhythm guitarist and backing vocals.
It's so nuts.
He's contributed to all Iced Earth releases.
If I was in a band, like
The
if I
first two get first bassist and lead guitarist, it just says releases none. Good for them.
like if I was in a band like a 5-piece band and like 4 of them got changed, I mean, at one point is the band just different?
Right.
It's a new band. I mean, I understand the whole staging thing. Like, you know, you lose one guy and then you have like this next 4 people for like X amount of years, and then you lose this guy and like you have this guy for 4, and now he's a 7-year. It's just weird. It's like,
Very strange. Very, very strange.
and it gets sad for us fans because you can't play the old stuff anymore because that wasn't even your band at the time. You probably don't even know how to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Just terrible, terrible.
Terrible, terrible things. Band breakups are so rough.
They were pretty good though. Iced Earth, good stuff.
Were. It's unfortunate.
I bet you people didn't even know. You probably listen to Iced Earth like unknowingly. It's like, oh, I love this band. It's like they're chaos. There's nothing but chaos back there.
It's very hidden though. Like if you don't pay attention, you're just like, yeah, it's another album.
So
Well, they probably have the same hitman as the As I Lay Dying dude. And if anybody does speak out to it, they just disappear. Like,
That's your band member list. Is just marking.
now that's a bad budget chart right there.
yeah, I was
That looks like Braille.
I also like the comment. It's like it took me a couple of months to like go through my personal decisions. It's like it took you a couple of months to get your accountant to get your royalty checks redirected to a different freaking account.
Yeah, right.
Before they take those away from you.
Before you announced it. I'm sure he texted him that day like, good job, dumbass. I'm out of the band. Don't say anything. And if you tell the public, then I'm going to sue you for...
When you have a band manager and like generally a lawyer that handles all the band's affairs, and like one guy all of a sudden has his own lawyer, that's an eyebrow raiser.
Uh-oh, guys.
It's like, why is your accountant here?
Everybody...
32 members in all
Holy fuck!
for their whole.
That's
time.
like so.
And John Schaffer is the only one who stayed the whole time. So maybe he's the problem. Clearly, he's the problem because
Very well could be.
How many did you say? 32.
32.
Okay, so if you do 5 divided by 32, that is I don't think I did that right.
That's not a right thing. That's like
I'm trying to figure out the. Okay, hold on.
6
5,
and a lot of
32%.
body parts.
That's a 320% turnover.
That's yeah.
I'm proud of them.
Like,
I hope they kept their receipts.
that's amazing. Companies don't survive a 320% turnover. You know how much the training cost would be?
Right? That's probably why so many people kept quitting. Bro, I don't want to learn this guy's... Am I learning the last guy's guitar? No. This is the second guy.
It's like let's call it like $1,000 to do like the legal contract thing. That's $32,000.
Can you imagine how the royalties get sent out? Just fucking everywhere.
Yeah, they're using like DistroKid, and they have 47 people.
I feel like they're doing the long version of Slipknot.
Hey guys, we're having a reunion. Every original band member is coming back.
It's your fucking marching band.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're in a venue with a 100-person capacity, and you can only sell like 40 tickets.
How many albums have they had?
Sorry, we've reached our royalty maximum. We can't let anybody else in the show.
Want to be in a band? Call Iced Earth. There's probably an opening.
Oh man.
Yeah, they have 12 albums with 32 people, so that's easily a change every album.
That's fucking nuts. Look at this thing.
That's at least two changes, 3 changes every album. That's crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Crazy.
Very, very nuts. Insane, right?
I think Matt Barlow might be my favorite vocalist, though.
Matt Barlow. I didn't mind Stu Block because I have Plagues of Babylon. That album wasn't bad. They've all been sort of similar, but it's.
All right, Dave, did you bring us any stories of Dirty Rotten Quitters today?
Stories of dirty, rotten quitters? No, I just had a huge list of bands in music history that parted ways.
All right, rock on, bro.
Party on, Wayne.
Excellent.
Bro,
Car.
I think. Guys, wait! I fell on my keys. Dude, well, when I saw like most difficult band breakups in music history, I was like, oh no.
That's a little dramatic, I think.
Well, but that's what it was.
Yeah, I know. And we just talked about ones from like the last 12 months.
I know.
Yeah.
But I got thinking about like music, and then I was thinking like, all right, like intentionally broke up or like subsequently broke up, because there's a couple of bands that had to break up because of
Situations. I mean, you look at Pantera. I always kind of like my first one my brain goes to because in Remain. I mean,
well,
if you want to do recently, if you want to do Linkin Park, is technically a thing because they can't really.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
but they're not broken up. But
right.
like they gotta shoot like it's not. So that was gonna be my question for you guys, because like, do you guys think like a band?
Pantera did break up.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. But it
Yeah,
wasn't
okay.
like their.
It wasn't like a
It wasn't
collective
like
choice.
You know what I mean? Like something happened that caused it.
No, but that's why he got shot. There was a crazed fan that
Right.
thought he ruined Pantera.
Oh, I got that.
Okay.
But that's what I was gonna say. Was it like?
But it wasn't like a fight in the band. You know,
But-
something actually tragically happened.
So instead of Linkin Park, I was actually gonna say an inadvertent breakup would be like Damage Plan.
See, we're not saying the same things. There were fighting in that band.
I don't think so.
They had to put
Philip
an album
Sonomo
cover
would never
together.
Fight anybody.
They had to put an album
Philip
cover
Sonomo
together
would never fight anybody.
because they couldn't be in the same room together.
Bill Anselmo would never.
Just keep saying it louder. It makes it true.
I'll just turn the microphone up.
Yeah.
I know where my knob is.
I'd hope so.
My wife doesn't.
My microphone just gets turned off, and it's just like Marcus is done for today.
We're going home. No, but I like inadvertent, like Damage Plan. That was inadvertently. They were inadvertently broken up. That sucks.
It's relatively literal.
You know why? Because Philip Sonomo would never fight anybody.
But and then I was thinking like, all right, well, do we count like original band members leaving as breakups?
Well, that's kind of why. See, my mind also kind of gravitated toward Atreyu. It's not a breakup,
Right.
But in theory, it feels like a breakup.
Oh, that's a breakup.
You know
Atreyu's
what I
dead.
mean? Yeah, and that's kind of.
It was the same with Rage's drummer though.
Right.
When he left, it was like, okay, it kind of changes their sound, but they're still.
Yeah, but that's a good one too because they were fighting like Smashing Pumpkins.
Exactly. and that was
Everybody
someone I was
hated
gonna
fucking
mention
Billy.
also.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Billy.
It's like
Corgan.
he's impossible to work with. So, and then he just did a whole bunch of drugs and hired an assassin to try to kill his wife. Oh wait, I'm just spreading rumors.
Wow.
We're back. We're back. Yep, that happened.
Full circle.
Well, it's funny you say full circle because one of the bands I was gonna mention was Creed. I feel like if he
Yeah.
hadn't gone on a bender, they had so much potential to like keep making rock music. And look at Tremonti right now.
That's a good reason to break up though. It's like I'm sick.
Oh,
of,
no,
I'm
it's
sick of
absolutely.
I'm sick of your drunk ass not being able to finish a show. That
Oh,
would be
it's not only that.
that would be a problem for me.
I'm surprised Puddle of Mud isn't broken up.
Right?
Fucking was.
Yeah, can we do an episode on bands we're surprised they're not broken up yet?
Trap took how long to break up?
Right. Yes, and they're not even broken up.
And it's still
It
a
was-
weird mix of.
No, good.
Well, they just fired him. They just got rid of what's his name.
He's still there.
Oh, they kicked him out.
He's still there. I looked it up months later after we
Really?
covered that, and it
Interesting.
was like a whole bit like they covered it up, and
He
there's
probably
still,
has rights to it. And he's like,
They just played a show in New Hampshire like last week,
That's
Yeah.
true. They did, didn't they?
Yeah.
and another one at the Vault in Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't think about that. Well, didn't technically El Nino break up twice because they had like
Well,
two bands at one time?
Well, that's actually a good one, but I didn't want to keep exhausting that because we did talk about that. They actually split in two, and then there was a legal dispute between the two original parties about who actually owns El Nino. It's like, no, I'm El Nino. No, I'm El Nino.
Yeah, so they had two.
So now everybody-
You're
bands.
both El Nino, just like Fuel.
All they have to
Fuel's another one.
Fuel was that was a
all they have to
record
do
thing,
is
though.
change that little symbol over that like letter. Like one go backwards, one go inverted.
One should be Nina with a female fronted, and the other was Nino, male front. Done.
Well, it'd be La Nina.
Okay, Mr. Fucking
Oh.
I'm just
fucking Rosetta Stone over here.
So you want to grade our fucking grammar test like while you're here?
no, not again.
I'll grab Adrian's homework. She's got all kinds of shit I don't understand.
Damn it. But no, there was a bunch of bands because when you said music history, the first thing I honestly thought of was Blink-182. When they broke up, it was like,
It's Tom DeLonge went to Angels and Airwaves.
but then he also what's his name? The other guy, he made Plus 44, and then they had Boxcar Racer. So they did a bunch of music projects. There was like 4 Blink-182 projects at one point, all making like similar sounding music with similar sounding people that weren't one Blink-182, and it was like people were.
Oh, you mean like Lit?
They had one hit.
Yeah.
No, I meant literally Blink-182 and Plus 44 and Boxcar Racer and Angels and Airwaves.
Yeah.
Those are all Blink-182 people in different bands. And Lit. Why Lit?
Because they sound like them. Actually, for the longest time, I thought that one song was actually
You thought that was Blink-182?
like the
My own
longest
worst
time.
enemy?
Yeah.
Their only hit.
Their only hit
Their only
ever.
And then Rush broke up too.
Yeah, that's because they lost their drummer.
Again, if an original band member leaves or passes away, whatever, for whatever reason, if they leave, is it
All
still...
I'm saying is that's a very
Well,
literal.
Geddy Lee was done with music, but as
Right.
a guitarist is not. Like he's gonna do other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
You know
it's
how
a
many
bit.
people have said they've been done and then they just come back anyways? Think about it. The guy from the
MGK?
Rolling Stones. What's his name? Mick Jagger's been dead like 3 times and he's still fucking playing
Right.
music.
I think he still is dead. That's the guy that's going to start the actual zombie apocalypse because like he's the first living zombie.
And then like the Beatles, that was a big, and I mean it's technically rock. Like the Beatles broke up. Is that technically it's just? I feel like it's hard to define. What are we breaking up for? Like breaking up because we're fighting over the kids
Well, I'm
is
saying,
one thing.
like,
Breaking up because
When a band doesn't continue because of like a tragedy, like somebody actually passes away and they just choose not, I don't consider that like a breakup, unless you want
Well,
to
then you take
unless you want to go
Drowning
back to Mayhem.
Or
Mayhem
Drowning
actually murdered each other,
Pool. Oh, that's true. That's a different story. Yeah.
so that's probably a breakup.
yeah.
But like Drowning Pool, that's something that kept going.
Right.
Even though
So
they
that's
lost.
not a breakup. I mean that's a
Well, the two that I really wanted to mention that came to me that I kind of wanted to ask you guys about because the front man stayed the same but had the same result in both, and obviously he's an icon. So, Audio Slave and Soundgarden.
Yeah.
hmm
It just seems like there was kind of a pattern there, and I understand like Chris Cornell was the man and was in the scene and whatever, but I don't know. Do you guys think it was the problem?
I would assume that Chris Cornell is probably a very interesting character to have to negotiate any kind of creative control with.
No problem.
Because a lot of his projects, oh, what am I listening to? Like, oh, this is Audio Slave. Oh, I thought it was Soundgarden. Like, no,
Also
it's...
be
And
Harry's
I
dog
make
is also, yeah.
I make that assumption only just because of like clips that I see of him playing live, just like how
Yeah.
he carries himself.
Dog.
Yep.
Like it's like I just think he probably considered himself probably genius level, and like
Untouchable.
you had to pretty much be like a godlike figure in order to like crack that.
Well, then you can even take Corey Taylor because they've lost people too, but he
Oh,
just
gosh.
does other stuff.
Corey
Yeah.
Taylor's completely conceited.
100%.
Like
That's why Jim Root can't be in 2 bands with him.
you know
He's
how
like,
I
one or
know
the other.
you know
One or
I
the
know
other.
Corey Taylor is conceited because he thinks his solo project is good.
Corey motherfucking Taylor.
Bomb dropped. Now we have beef with Corey Taylor.
But it's just
Does that
it's just
make
like
us
it's just
friends
like a
with
thing.
MGK? Oh,
It's
no,
just
take
like
that back.
no, it's just like a thing. It's like anything that I put out is gonna be great. It's like, well, no, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. But if it doesn't work for one project, you just carry it over to the other project and hopefully it sticks there.
Mm-hmm.
But just that's all. Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, you're good.
No, originally, when you talked about breakups, I mean, half the bands that I listen to, for some reason, only have like 1 album. and then they just disappeared from the world. So that's kind of was like, well, like most of them, in my mind.
I used to equate that because like we listen to a lot of obscure stuff sometimes,
Yeah.
and like it's like they just don't make it.
Yeah, well, there's one that I started listening to called like Bad Rising. It's female fronted, and like her voice is really good. So they have the one album. I was like, okay, and then I followed her. And I was like, maybe she has other bands, but no, she's like an interior designer somewhere now. So it's just like, oh, okay, well, that's not gonna help me
At all.
Nope. But, yeah, and sometimes you just change your career, you know.
Oh, I make money doing this.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't have to be in a van with 4 sweaty guys. Like,
Yeah, more or less, man.
that wasn't even when I was in a band.
Was it Maya Shining? You were saying like touring for me is like sitting in the backseat of a van with 4 other gentlemen and sleeping on my way between gigs.
Yep.
I was like, that doesn't sound glorious at all.
Sounds terrible.
Are you okay?
They used to have this show. It was on YouTube. It was called like Tour Bus Guides or something like that. But they would go around and like video like tour buses of bands, and they would like let them in, kind of like show them like, you know, what this and this. Like you have like bullet
Okay,
for
so-
Valentine. You go in, and then it's like, oh, here's where we watch our soccer because we're horribly British, and then this is where we play FIFA because again we're horribly British. And then they'll find like the like opening bands are like, yeah, this is my car. I sleep here in the corner. The drummer sleeps in the trunk. Like, so it's interesting.
So it's basically MTV Cribs for
Exactly,
tour buses.
but for tour buses, yeah. It was cool though. It was kind of neat to see how like
This is where we all poop.
Ailstorm was pretty interesting though. That was a fun one. Some of them are good.
Anybody that can consume Genesee, I'm assuming is an interesting human.
You know they have a cider now.
Oh, good.
I saw it the other day. I don't imagine what that tastes like. They just leave the apple cider for like a year, and then just put it in cans. Hey, your alcohol's there, buddy. It's fermented.
You won't get sick. It's ultra pasteurized.
Cut it with mouthwash. You'll be alright.
Yeah. Perfect.
This episode was sad.
I have, well,
I have a belly button.
I was going to say on the topic of band members, because the other big one was Metallica and how their sound changed.
That may have been just.
You know what?
meeting
Metallica
thing,
was a
though.
fake breakup. I think Metallica like just fake fought that way they could make that stupid movie.
Oh, no, I meant Cliff Burton.
That's not a breakup though. That's like a tragic event. Like it doesn't. The band didn't break up because of Cliff Burton.
No, but like,
Well, the broke was so bad they didn't put the bassist in the next album. Nah, we'll just take him out. Yeah.
original band members,
The worst.
always. Why did Lars have to change beds?
No, but like I said, I make because like that. What was it like after the Black album or something? Like it was between Black and like Load. That like that movie came out, and like they would just have like scenes of, like them in their recording studio, and they're all just like having like what, in my opinion, were the fakest fights I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, probably.
Hey man, I don't appreciate the way you treat me. Dude, we're just having a bowl of cereal. Where's this coming from? What the hell are you talking about?
If you interrupt my cereal with an argument, I'm gonna be mad.
Start
I'm not
smack
gonna lie.
like yeah, somebody like throws like a glass. It's like
He's like slapping milk in your face from the bowl.
Kirk Hammett just sits there awkwardly. Yeah, whatever, man. Let's go smoke weed.
Fair enough.
So fake, so staged. Like they were fake fighting. And then they had their great comeback tour. It's like, no.
No, you fake feuders, you sit over
Oh,
there.
speaking of comeback tours, fucking Mudvayne. They had like their
Yep.
comeback thing, and then he got fucking COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what's his name? The lead singer.
What is his name?
Chad something.
Yeah.
Isn't it gray?
Chad Gray, yeah.
I agree. Yeah. He just did a
But
song
yeah.
with AKC.
But yeah, it's COVID now, so much for that reunion.
You know what, though?
All this hype.
Not for nothing. The cult following that Mudvayne probably had, like,
Uh-huh.
because they only did festivals.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do a tour. They were only doing, like, these big
Right,
festivals.
right.
So, like, all these people, like, probably made plans, like, months and months in advance. Like, oh, by the way, Mudvayne's not there anymore.
Exactly. It's like,
No.
But
yeah, I saw that the other day too. That's a thing.
actually, it's funny bringing the whole COVID thing because El Nino, whatever version actually won said name, was on tour with like Head PE and I forgot the other two bands, but they are actually canceling the rest of the dates because all the local municipalities keep changing their regulations. Yeah. And it's like it's impossible for us to know what we can and can't do at different venues, and we can't prepare for it, so we're done.
Right.
We'll try again
it's
in
weird
April.
Right now. It's weird.
It's a very weird time right now.
Well, I happen to know personally. I have a show right now booked in New Hampshire, a show booked in Massachusetts, and a show booked in Rhode Island. The one in Massachusetts has a whole bunch of stuff you got to do.
You gotta have your
because in the Boston vaccination or 72 hours like a negative test. I was hoping that since it's a couple months away that would all go away by that point, but it doesn't look like it's happening.
Probably not till at least probably next summer.
We're all going back to lockdown, folks.
Gonna be a cold, isolated winter.
Fasten your.
So make sure you warm yourself up with some high-limb pumpkin spice unfiltered hard cider.
We have plenty. We have plenty to share. Come take ours.
Asshole spice.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about, Dave?
Nope.
I feel better.
Good. I'm glad.
Awesome. Take us home, buddy.
Well, that's it for us, kids. We are Heavy Metal Over Six Pack, the only place for local, national, international rock metal and beer reviews, as well as gummy bears with tweezers.
What the fuck is that about?
He just pulls a box of gummy bears and tweezers out of nowhere and starts eating them. Sorry,
it's a top.
I didn't want to call you that.
This is why we need to be like. This is why we need to be on like live TV, because it's like if that was. Why are there tweezers in there?
They're gummy bear servers.
You don't want to get your mitts all.
They're bear tongs. Sounds dangerous when you leave out the gummy part. Hey, bro, pass me my bear tongs. That's it for us, kids. We are Heavy Metal Over Six Pack. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll catch you next time, with or without the bear tongs.
I'm gonna start a band and call it Bear Tongs and see how long it takes me to get sued by Beartooth.
Well, if you spell it bear, like B-A-R-E.
Use like similar lettering.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, guys? The E is clearly a different shape. All right. Goodbye.
Night. Love you.
Okay.
That is the end of this episode. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of Heavy Metal Over a Six Pack podcast. Marcus, Dave, and Anthony signing off. Check out the podcast at hmoa6pack.podomatic.net. Email hmoa6pack@gmail.com. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.